Hello everybody, welcome to Learn Something. I'm Julio Herrera.
I'm Gilberto Duran. We're the founders of Learn Something.
We just wanted to let you know that today's video is sponsored by Tecnológico de Monterrey and want you to thank you for tuning in.
Make sure to check out their webpage and their facilities. Thanks for the support.
And remember, knowledge is only one step away. Thank you.
Yep, you guessed it. Our topic for today is pop art.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Learn Something.
Today we will talk about a topic that is really interesting and also fairly important in art history.
Yes.
In order for us to start talking about pop art, we need to take it back to the 1950s.
Okay, so let's start talking about a guy called Eduardo Polozzi. Polozzi was crucial to this movement. Why? Well, he created what is considered to be nowadays as the earliest standard bearer for pop art, with his artwork created in 1950, I Was a Rich Man's Plaything.
Polozzi was Scottish. However, he belonged to a group called the Independent Group that was located in London and that included a lot of artists that helped to ignite this movement like Richard Hamilton.
And in 1954, Frank Cordell may have coined the term pop art, and although this led pop art to establish a cultural movement, in 1954 this independent group dissolved. However, this didn't stop the most dedicated artists, and in 1957 the first pop art exhibition came under the name This Is Tomorrow.
Lawrence Holloway was the first critic that used the term pop art on a print piece, and he defined this type of art as popular, transient, expendable, low-cost, mass-produced, young, witty, sexy, gimmicky, glamorous, and big business.
The movement started growing very quickly, and in 1959, the English art critic Lawrence Holloway wrote an essay about arts in which he called the arts and the mass media, which eventually helped popularize the movement even more and further to define it.
In 1962, the term pop art first arrived in the US and was referred first by the Museum of Modern Art located in New York during a symposium. It is during this year that Andy Warhol exhibits for the first time his Campbell's canned soups and has his first ever solo exhibit. Also, it is important to notice that it is during this time that lots of artists are having their best moment and their best time. So, as a result, in 1964, the American supermarket takes place. And you might be wondering, what is the American supermarket?
Supermarket. Well, the American Supermarket was a show held by Paul Buchanan's gallery. This show was presented as a typical USA small supermarket environment, except that everything in it was like the food produced, posters on the wall, and other things, but was made up by 6 artists, in which one of them was the controversial Billy Apple, also Mary Inman and Robert Watts.
During this show, Warhol painting of a can of Campbell's soup cost $1,500, while each autograph can sold for $6. The exhibit was one of the first mass events that directly confronted the general public with both pop art and the perennial question of what art is.
Andy Warhol. Andy Warhol is probably the most popular figure of pop art nowadays. This is mainly because he did lots of things in favor of the movement that helped popularize it. For example, he helped found the New York Academy of Art, which nowadays is recognized in a national and international level. Warhol was loved and cherished by many. However, he was hated and criticized by many others.
Which leads us to the tragic October of 1968. It is during a public appearance that Warhol was shot by a radical feminist called Valerie Solanas, and he nearly died because of his wound.
This incident took toll in Warhol's career, and both his work and the movement in general began to slow down.
It is around this time that art critics and experts may mark the end of the pop art movement. And although there is no clear answer for the sudden fall of pop art, many like to blame it on that specific event.
And with that, we finish this episode. We close today, and we hope that you tune us on next episode. We're gonna talk about surrealism.
Today we showed you how pop art started and how it ended. We hope you enjoyed, and make sure you give it a thumbs up and tune in for our next episode. Thank you for watching.
See you next time.
Sayonara.